Hey everyone, just real quick. Let me go over here in the light so you can see me better. So I'm gonna do a what sold video. I just wanted to do a quick intro because I'm gonna do a screen share with you from the laptop. So if you're new here, my name's Kimberly. I Dream a Lot on YouTube, Etsy, eBay, Poshmark. I think that's it. Anyhow, I have been gone for a while, but I'm trying to make some videos and get caught up and start fresh for the new year. So I am going to go over what has sold for me in the month of December. I'm not going to go through all the items, but I am going to talk about how much I paid for the items, what they sold for, profit, all that good stuff, why I picked the items up, and how long each item took to sell. I will go through some bread and butter and then some couple higher end brands, which you guys know I don't find those too often in West Virginia. And then I will talk about a couple items from my garage. You guys know all the items in my garage are my old inventory that I'm trying to get rid of. So I'll kind of just give you some updates, run through some numbers, let you know how I'm doing, and then I will do a separate video talking about my goals for 2024 and what I will be doing different with my business in 2024 based on the fact that I am very part-time because I work full-time, and I have a personal life and some exciting things, that are happening. So, all right, I will jump over to the laptop. All right, everyone, here we are. We're going to take a look at my eBay sales. I'm not going to talk about Poshmark. So these are eBay sales from December 1st through December 29th. Today is December 29th. I am not going to be in town for the weekend, so I just figured I would go ahead and make the video now so that I can get another video up this weekend since I've kind of been MIA for a month and a half. So the video that is up just prior to this one is just a quick haul video, and now I'm doing a what sold video for December. And one of my goals in 2024, which I'll do a separate video for, is just to get on a regular schedule for my eBay business, and including getting some YouTube videos posted or uploaded on a consistent basis. So, one what sold video each week and then one haul video. I think I can commit to that if I get everything else in order. But the theme of 2024 for me is organization in every area of my life, because it's really been just kind of everything's been chaotic and in disarray for the last couple of years. So here we go. I'm going to give you some numbers first. So on eBay from December 1st through December 29th, I had a total of 34 items that sold, and the total sales, which includes the item, so the price of the item plus what the buyer paid in shipping, was $23.67, so $2,367. After fees and shipping label costs, that comes down to $1,708. So basically that's what goes back into my bank account, $1,708. If you subtract my cost of goods, which was about $136, I am left with a profit of $1,572. So not bad for a very part-time reseller. I will say that I had one item, and we will get to that, that sold for over $900. So, um, so yeah, if you take that $900 sale away, I'm left with somewhere around $600. So, but you know what? It doesn't matter how it comes. Yeah, it is what it is. And that item took almost 5 years to sell. Actually, not almost, it did. It took 5 years to sell. So we will talk about that item when we get to it. Yeah, so let's get into it. Oh, my average cost of goods after taking that that $900 item out of the mix is right around $32, which that's, I want to be at least $30. So at least, even though I didn't have a ton of sales, but I really wasn't listing for the month of December. So, the fact that my average sale price is increasing, I'm very happy about that. So let's just keep that going. So the first item we're going to talk about is an item that I sold yesterday. It was listed on August 25th, so it took a few months to sell, but that was fine. I figured it would sell in fall or winter, and sure enough it did. I also had a white one that sold for a little less because it had a little mark on the shoulder, but it was still in beautiful condition, no stains or anything like that. It's a Ralph Lauren Sport women's large red quilted vest with that crest in gold on the chest there, very equestrian looking, and it sold for $75. So very good sale. My advice here is, number one, with Ralph Lauren, I pretty much pick up anything in Ralph Lauren that has an equestrian look, or it has the crest on the chest, or on like the sleeve, if it's in good condition, and especially in larger sizes. Those items generally do very well. So something like this, I'm sure I didn't even comp. I mean, it was in such excellent condition. I had no idea that it was a $75 item. I think when I got these two vests, which I paid $3 or $4 for them, I, oh, I don't know what that was. That was weird. That popped up on the screen. I thought this was maybe a $30 item. But so you never know. But the other thing I'll say is always check the vests. So vests are usually in most thrift stores kind of in a section on their own, usually by like the jackets and blazers. And what I have found is most thrift stores, even Goodwill, don't price those up. So I get vests at my Goodwills in my area for $4. And so when they're half off, it's really nice. So I get a lot of vests for $2 because it's just a section that is just overlooked by resellers, by regular shoppers, for whatever reason. So always check your vests. All right, moving on. All right, next is a pair of LL Bean corduroy men's pants. I've talked about these before. These are just a good, you know, just kind of bread and butter. They sell pretty well. These were the standard fit, size 35-30, and they sold for $25 in about a month and a half. Next is a new with tags Chico size 3, so an extra large, and it was this kind of like a velvet blazer in black with these really pretty gold buttons. It had that double breast look. It was just very nice, and it sold on an offer of $30. And it was new with tag. I thought I was going to get more for it, but I wanted to make sure that it sold this season. I didn't want to sit on it, you know, until, because to me it's something that would sell in fall or winter. So I went ahead and accepted that offer. And I think I made a few dollars on the shipping. So that's always nice. I love Chico's. I buy a lot of Chico's and I do well with it. I don't buy Chico size 1, and if it's a size 2, it has to be something pretty substantial or a really nice fabric or something special about it. Or a certain garment or item that is really sought after. Even kind of their basic like tanks or their traveler's edition like tanks or pants, I'll get those in a size 2, but I love getting the larger sizes like 3 and 3.5. Do they have 4? I can never remember. These are a pair of vintage LEI like 90s Y2K chunky platform heels. These were in excellent condition. They were a size 7.5, and you know, it looks like this is still trending, so I will keep buying stuff like this as long as it's trending. And those sold for $35. And they took about a month to sell, not too long. Next is this vintage men's brown suede leather coat. If you guys remember, I actually washed this in the washing machine and it sold on an offer. I believe it was $50. If I remember correctly, let me look here just so I give you the right price. Let me find it. Yes, it was $50 plus they paid shipping. So that was a great example. I picked this up for $1 at my little Mission thrift store in my area, and I just wanted to wash it because I just felt like it needed a little freshening up. And it came out really nice. I hung dry it, and yeah. And that sold within a month, so that was great. Next is this Susan Graver 1X liquid knit cardigan tank set. So it was a tank top, really pretty tank top with like this beading along the neckline and then a little cardigan that matched. And it was new with tags, and I do pick up Susan Graver in plus sizes. And it sold for $30, the price that you see there. And yeah, so if you see Susan Graver and it's in good condition and it's in plus sizes, I would definitely pick it up or give it a comp if you can get it for under $5. This was a really beautiful sweater in a size extra large. This came out, I got this at Goodwill. It came out on a new rack. I was getting ready to leave. I'm like, well, let me just go look. And I looked and I just felt it. I'm like, this feels really nice. I knew nothing about this brand. It's a Modern Citizen. Let me show you the tag there. It just was felt very substantial. The tag looked really nice. And sure enough, these sweaters, I forget the retail price. You see the stock photo there. It's just a really nice sweater, and it was in a larger size. It was in pristine condition, and it sold for $50, and it sold within a month. It really has that minimalist look, right? Just very simple, basic, but then it kind of adds that flair with the bell sleeve. Next is this comforter. You guys, when I got this in July, got it listed and had a couple $100 offers, and I'm like, no way. I thought it was going to sell a lot faster than it did, but it finally sold on an offer of $150. I still have another one to list, so I don't know if these are dying down. I don't think so. I think there will always be a buyer, but you may just kind of have to wait it out. And so this I had to wait, about 5 months or so for the right buyer, but it sold for $150 plus they paid shipping. So yeah, this vintage, 90s comforter that is from that show, DJ Tanner, Full House. It was also in the Home Alone movie. So yeah, if you ever see this out in the wild, you'll definitely want to pick it up. But you just may have to sit on it for a while. But hey, I think I got this for $4. Plus I got I got both of them for $8. So, I mean, yeah, I'm fine. Waiting for 150 for 5 months, that's fine. Next is this Lands of Salzburg dress. It was a red plaid dress, kind of that tartan plaid. It had these little velvet buttons, very cute. And this brand does well. It does really well in those like vintage nightgowns. And this was not vintage. It's, you know, just made in China, but it was new. And yeah, it sold for $45. Let me double check that. I may have accepted an offer. No, it sold for $45 plus they paid shipping. So they spent a total of $60.57 on this dress. And it sold in about a month. All right, guys, here it is. Here is my big sale of the year, really. I think this was my highest sale. I had a few high sales this year, but this is a gorgeous coat. And oh my goodness, I wish, not, I don't wish, but I wish I would have worn it at least once. I just, yeah. Anyway, it was gorgeous. It fit me very well. It's just a gorgeous, here, I'll show you some pictures. This is a vintage Bill Blass coat from the 1960s. It is silk, very heavyweight silk, beautiful kind of like floral pattern in this gorgeous color that I don't even know how to describe. It was like this, oh gosh, I just don't even know how to describe this color. It's kind of like a orangey, pinky, just gorgeous with this raccoon fur collar. It was just stunning. And I can't tell you enough. And the buyer is very happy. She, you know, messaged me. She said, wow, this coat is stunning. And it is. And I picked this up for, I believe, $9 at a Goodwill about 5 years ago. And it has been listed, and one sold on, what was that site? I forget the name of the site now, but it sold for $950 in, I think it was like, yeah, right before I got my coat. Anyway, I accepted an offer of $950. So it's kind of funny that it sold for the exact same price that other one sold for. First Dibs, that's the site. And then there was one listed on Etsy for a long time, and it may still be listed, I'm not sure, for $1,300. Anyhow, I'm very happy, you know, that it obviously went to someone who I'm sure is going to use it. They spent $950 on it. But yeah, that's it. It's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. It was in pristine condition. Let me see if I can find the tag. Here we go. So it's Bill Blass for Bond Street is what it said. And it had this really pretty lining, very, you know, satin lining. Galleries of Fashion, Joseph Horn Company, Pittsburgh. So that must have been the store that it was originally sold at. But yeah, it was just stunning. So yes, wonderful sale right before Christmas. That was nice. Next is an antique mason jar. And this was really cool. It was a little different. So it was that blue color, and the date was 1871, and it had like that zinc kind of ribbed lid, but the actual top part of the lid was glass. So it was the glass and zinc, and that's what made it special, and it sold for $30. Next is a Calvin Klein coat. I had this listed for about a month. I picked this up. It was either $4 or $8. I can't remember. I know that it was half off when I purchased it. Nothing wrong with this coat, just a basic Calvin Klein suede men's jacket in an extra large, and it sold for $29.99, so $30. I don't know why it's saying $32 and then over here it's saying $29.99. That is so weird. So I have two laptops open right now, and when I scroll to the bottom, that gives you, oh, I wonder if it sold twice and I had someone who didn't pay. That may have been the case. Let me take a look here. No. Yeah, I don't know. It's saying 32. Maybe that's including tax. That's probably what that is. Yes, that's what that is. So it sold for $30 and then they also paid shipping. All right. This is a vintage Torrid 1X black lace top. This was really pretty. Look at these pretty little, I guess, like, what do you call that sleeve where it's elastic and then it kind of flares out? That's not a bishop sleeve, right? No, bishop is where, I don't know. Anyway, a little bell sleeve, really pretty. It was in pristine condition, and little rhinestone buttons, and it was made in USA. Let me show you the tag. There's the tag, the vintage tag, and that sold, I believe that one did sell on an offer, I think for $25. I had it listed for $30, and well, no, it says $31.65. So yeah, it sold for $29.99. So that was a great little sale. I had some good sales this month. This was a new with tags, women's, just embroidered, kind of like this boho, kind of like Johnny Was vibes top, and it was an XXL, and it sold for $20, plus they paid shipping, and yeah, so that was a great little sale. And I wanted to point something out. If you guys, let me just, I want to make sure the buyer's information isn't below here. No. Okay. When you go to item specifics, when you go to theme, you can enter all sorts of keywords, and a lot of the keywords are already there. But you can add your own, and I add my own all the time, and on stuff like this where it has, where it's similar to something that I know people search for. So I included Johnny Was. Do you guys consider that, I don't know, keyword spamming, or is that unethical? Because I'm not, it's right under theme, Johnny Was. It's not in the brand or anything like that. So I've done this for a long time. Like there's certain items that I've sold that remind me of like Skims, and so I'll put that in the theme, or even like Kardashian, or just whatever it is. Is that, I mean, is that ethical? Is that okay? I just figure there might be some people who want that Johnny Was vibe, but their pocketbook is not Johnny Was vibe. So they want something like that, but they can't afford it. And so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right, let me close that. This was another great sale. This is vintage Betsy Johnson. So this is 90s Y2K. It was a silk dress, midi length, had this crochet kind of hemline, polka dot. It was just, I mean, what do we say here? I mean, it's very Betsy Johnson, 90s Y2K. And these dresses sell very well. You just have to wait for your right buyer. But I mean, it sold within 90 days for $150. So keep your eye out for those vintage Betsy Johnson dresses. Next is, this brand was no big deal. I bought this because of the style and the size. Those were the two factors. The brand is Natural Reflections. It was a lightweight vest that kind of had like that boho Aztec kind of Western vibe with the fringe and the pattern, and it was lightweight. Kind of when you look at it, it looks like, oh, is that wool? But it's probably, just like polyester, made in China. But it was a 3X and it sold for $20. Let me make sure I didn't accept. I just want to give you guys the right. I may have accepted an offer on that for 15, and I think I did or I sent out an offer for 15 and they accepted. No, it says $21.81 plus they paid, let's see. No, it was, I accepted an offer of, whoops. Oh, goodness gracious. Lost what I was doing here. No, that's not what I want. I'm trying to, okay, sales are counted only when the buyer makes the payment rather than when they commit. Okay. Okay, anyway, I believe that sold on an offer of $15 because I've had it listed for a few months and I've had some likes and watchers and it just wasn't moving, and so I figured let me just lower the price because it had the good factors, two good factors, right? The style, and style meaning the print and the fringe and it's on trend, and then the size. But the brand, the fabric was nothing special, and so that really just prevented it from kind of pushing the sale through, and so I needed to drop the price to get it to move. Ariat, this is just a long sleeve little hoodie, kind of like workout top, like that stretchy, thin fabric, very lightweight, and that also sold on an offer of $15. This was a vintage dress. I found this at Goodwill. I found like a few vintage dresses. It seemed like someone donated a bunch of vintage items, like maybe a reseller. That's kind of because they were different sizes and different styles. It wasn't like someone donated, their mother or grandmother's closet. It gave me like, this is someone who was kind of collecting vintage. Maybe they had a little shop, or maybe they were selling online and they donated a bunch of stuff, that maybe they stopped selling, or maybe the stuff wasn't selling. I don't know, but I have now sold, I think this is the third piece that I've sold from that little pickup, and it sold for $30, and it's just a vintage 1960s dress. I used keywords like Mad Men, MCM, and yeah, that's it. Next is a pair of vintage Carol Little. I remember Carol Little in the 90s when I worked at Nordstrom, and these were just pull-on pants, kind of like jeanie type pants, where they were crepe, like this crepe, like rayon fabric. They had this pretty like gold trim along the waistline. They remind me of like I Dream of Jeannie. Yeah, but they weren't real tapered at the ankle. But those sold also, I believe those sold on an offer of $15. I just wasn't getting, I was getting some likes and watchers, but the sale just wasn't there. And honestly, it's probably because this is more of a summer spring summer item, and if I would have just waited, I'm sure they would have sold for $20. But I just needed them to move, so I think I accepted an offer of like $16 or $17, and then they paid shipping as well. Let's see. Oh, this is a funny sale. This was something I thrifted for me, and I just didn't like the way they fit. They just weren't cool. I'll just say that. So I threw them up for $8 and they sold, and I think I made $1 or $2 on the shipping as well. So you just never know what will sell if they're the right price. All right, I've included these because this is an example of something I bought like 4 years ago. They were new with tags. This was like retail arbitrage. W118 by Walter Baker. They're the Sylvia Pants. They're a faux leather, like knit and faux leather, like legging, basically. They were an extra small. They were really small. New with tag, $148. They have not sold in 4 years. I kept dropping the price. They finally sold for $20. So if you're out there, do your comps. I'm sure I didn't pay much for them, but still, like, oh gosh, 4 years later. But they finally sold for $20. So that's another item that is gone from the garage, slowly but surely. And the last item is another old item from the garage. This is a Denim Co women's corduroy jacket. It had like this embossed like floral print or damask floral print, and it sold for $10. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It was a nice coat. I bought this for $1. I used to buy a lot of stuff on Dollar Day at Goodwill, but look at the lining. It's very nice. You know, you just have to find the right buyer. 100% cotton. Really cute. I mean, I could picture this actually. Someone could make this cool. It could kind of have that like Western boho vibe if you pair it with the right outfit. So that is that, guys. Those are some of my December sales on eBay. I will do a separate video for Poshmark sales. Have a great weekend and Happy New Year, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for following. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I really am trying to grow the channel, and I promise I will do much better in 2024 with posting more content, and not just more content, but more consistent content, and just kind of be on a schedule. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye.